Scoreline. My name is Robinson Okenye, and for the next 2 hours, we'll be taking a look at what is happening in your world of sport, both locally and internationally. We have the English Premier League fixtures, what to expect this evening. Remember, today, Chelsea takes on Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium. Will Sarri do a double against Unai Emery in the English Premier League this evening? Manchester United will be taking on Brighton, a match that will also be live on KTN from 5:30 p.m. this evening. We'll also be taking a look at the Kenya Premier League, what to expect from the three fixtures that we have this afternoon. Remember, Gor Mahia are out of the country for the CAF Confederation Cup qualifier for the group stage. They will be taking on New Stars. We'll also be looking at what to expect from that tie. But also today our focus will be on handball. What is ailing handball here in the country? I'm not alone in studio, and of course to talk about that I'm joined by three gentlemen here. Anthony Madoga, who is the Secretary General for the Nairobi branch. That is when you talk about the Kenya Handball Federation. I'm joined by also Adelbert Samuel, who's a player for Boomerang Handball Club, and also by Shisoka, who is from the Western branch of the Kenyan Handball Federation. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Shisoka, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Good to have you here.
Thank you.
Adelbert, good to have you here. You have lots of complaints.
Yeah, a lot of complaints.
And also, Anthony, good to have you here. You guys have lots of complaints that you are saying that should be looked at by the Kenya Handball Federation, of which you guys are members.
Yeah, you're officials.
Officials of that.
We are officials, yeah.
So we'll be taking a look at that later on in the show. But let's kick off Scoreline, and we begin with some good news. Curtains came down on a 5-day coaching course born out of partnership between Football Kenya Federation and Inmates Premier League at the Committee Prison. The coaching clinic was meant to equip inmates with football coaching, with football knowledge.
Wamepata ujuzi wa coaching ambao ni rare sana, coaching katika mchezo wa soka. Kwa hivyo itakuwa na umuhimu ya kuwa wata improve namna wamekuwa wakicheza, so itakuwa inawafaa, na vile vile watakapotoka nje ni matumaini yangu ya kwamba itakuwa ya kufana vile vile, kwa sababu coaching ni talanta ambayo pia ina reward pale nje.
Nimechezea Mathare, nimechezea utalii na nimecheza Premier. So niko na experience vile niko hapa. Na hii mafunzo itatusaidia sana, kwa sababu kulingana na saa ile mali nimefika, kwa sababu sirudi kucheza mpira, aba ile ndacheza itakuwa tu yangu ya starehe. Hii itanisaidia kutafuta, at least naweza pata ajira nayo, na pia kukuza vipaji FKF na kwa mafunzo kama haya, kwa sababu mali tuko enyewe tumeona mpira haina discrimination hata kidogo.
I only want to thank the prison service for the good gesture, and we hope we will continue with this partnership and empower the people inside here without any discrimination.
Well, the inmates of Premier League partnering with the Football Kenya Federation and getting some coaching knowledge. Of course, we'll be following up on that story, and we'll like to know how that is going to help the inmates in committee and how the league is currently running. Now, let's move on from committee prison. Let's go to the Kenya Premier League, and we have three fixtures on the cards. But before we take a look at the fixtures that we have this afternoon, of course, we take a look at the results from the matches that were played midweek. Remember, defending champions Gor Mahia emerged with a 4-1 win over Nakumatt, that is Nakumatt, which is currently called Mount Kenya United. We had FC Leopards getting a 2-1 win over Chemelil Sugar match that was played in Kisumu. Zuke Richo settled for 1-1 draw against Kariobangi Sharks, and Bandari went to the summit of the Kenya Premier League with a 1-0 win over Posta Rangers, a match that was played at the Mbaraki grounds in Mombasa. So let's take a look at the fixtures for this afternoon. We have Mathare United taking on Kakamega Homeboys. Now, that match will be live on KTN Burudani TV from 3 p.m. this afternoon. From 3 p.m., Mathare United takes on Kakamega Homeboys. Remember, Francis Kimanzi's side is still unbeaten in the league so far. Will they get the maximum points to go back to the top of the summit? Currently, they are second on the Kenya Premier League, and they will be seeking to move to the top of the Kenya Premier League. Now, after the departure of Melis Medo, will Sofapaka have what it takes to get all the 3 points when they take on Sony Sugar FC? Remember, Sofapaka currently lie 12th on the Kenya Premier League log with 11 points. They will be taking on Sony Sugar FC. Now, KCB, after getting their first win in the Kenya Premier League, that was a 1-0 win against FC Leopards, they will be taking on Vihiga United. Those are some of the fixtures lined up for this afternoon in the Kenya Premier League. Now we move on to the fixtures for Sunday in the Kenya Premier League, and we'll be having Ulinzi Stars taking on Tusker FC, and Western Stima will be hosting Nzoia Sugar. Those are the fixtures for tomorrow in the Kenya Premier League. Remember, we have Bandari as the team that tops the Kenya Premier League with 18 points. Mathare United is second with 17 points. Kariobangi Sharks is third with 14 points. Western Stima fourth with 14 points. And then Gor Mahia fifth with 13 points. At the bottom of the Kenya Premier League, Nakumatt has only 2 points. This is after the 2 draws that they accumulated. They are yet to get a win in the Kenya Premier League this season. Posta Rangers is at number 16 with 6 points. Zukericho at number 15 with 7 points. And also Chemelil is at number 14 with 7 points. Those are some of the fixtures, the results, and the Kenya Premier League log as of now. Remember, 3 matches. We have 3 matches this afternoon, and on KTN Burudani TV, we'll be having Mathare United taking on Kakamega Homeboys, a match that will be played at 3 p.m. That match will be live on Burudani TV. So let's move on from the Kenya Premier League. Let's go into the National Super League. A number of matches lined up for rather not today, but tomorrow and Monday. We have a number of matches lined up in the National Super League. We'll be taking a look at those fixtures. But before we go to the National Super League, let's get to some rugby. And Kenya Cup action returns this afternoon. And in Nakuru, it will be a double header. Nakuru will be taking on Homeboys. We'll be waiting to see how that goes on. Nakuru will be taking on Homeboys. Menengai Oilers, the match that has just kicked off, will be taking on Strathmore Leos. Black Blood will be out in action against a second-placed KCB. And then we'll be having here in Nairobi, Mwamba will be taking on Impala. High-flying Kabra Sugar will also be in action. Remember, they have not lost a match this season. They will be taking on Nondis. And then at the UN grounds in Nairobi, Mean Machine will be taking on Kenya Harlequins. So those are some of the fixtures that we are keeping an eye on to see how that pans out. Some of the fixtures that we are keeping an eye. Remember, Kabra Sugar are still unbeaten in Kenya Cup this season. They will be taking on Nondis. Will Nondis have what it takes to bring Cabra's unbeaten run to an end this afternoon? Mwamba takes on Impala RFC. Kenya Harlequins takes on Mean Machine. And of course, the other highlight match of the day is Nakuru hosting Homeboys, a match that will be played at 4 p.m. So let's move on. Now, Sports Cabinet Secretary Rashida Echesa has assured the country that the regional stadia that have stalled for several years will be ready before the World Under-20 Championships to be staged next year in Nairobi. Echesa said the completion of the Kamarini and Kipkeino stadia in the athletics-rich North Rift region will be hastened to allow athletes to use the new training facilities in preparation for the World Championships.
We need to have enough facilities for training, Kamarin being one of the facilities. So we have to move with the speed to ensure that Kamarin is complete. Contractor to be on site in the course of next week. And as a government, we have drawn plans to ensure that we have enough facilities at the grassroots. Because as you know, we've realized that we have a lot of talents at the grassroots. But the main challenge that we are undertaking as a government is that we don't have enough facilities. So as a government, we have plans to ensure that we roll out these projects to be complete on time.
Contractor will resume back to site and ensure that this project is completed. So to me, I don't even have words to say, because already by the fact that CS has took his time to come and assess this project means that he values this project, and he will tell us what plans he has.
Well, Sports Cabinet Secretary Rashid Echesa speaking right there, saying that he expects the stadium that have not been completed to be completed by 2020 when Kenya hosts the World Under-20 Championships here in Nairobi. Now, let's move on to the National Super League, and we take a look at the results from the matches that were played midweek before we taking a look at the fixtures for this weekend that is in the National Super League. And of course, we begin with the results from the matches that were played midweek. Eldoret Youth got a 1-0 win over Shabana. That is handing Shabana their third loss in a row. Nairobi Stima emerged with a 2-1 win over Thika United. Bidco gave Wazito their second loss in a row, getting a 2-1 win against Wazito. Administration Police were 2-0 losers to Shuru as the Taxmen continued with the unbeaten run in the National Super League, seeking to get promotion back to the Kenya Premier League. Now, St. Joseph Youth lost 2-1 to Fortune Sacco. Kostima emerged with a 2-0 win against Migori Youth. Modern Coast were 2-0 winners against Kangemi Stars, and Nairobi Stars settled for a 1-1 draw against Kenya Police. So let's take a look at the fixtures in the National Super League matches that will be played on Sunday. Ushuru takes on Eldoret Youth. Wazito will be in action against Kisumu Stars. Thika United hosts Talanta FC. Green Commandos will be out against St. Joseph Youth. And also Kenya Police will be in action against Kangemi All-Stars. Remember, Kangemi Stars gave a walkover in their previous match. Administration Police will be taking on Nairobi Stima. Kibera Black Stars will be in action against Coast Stima. Migori Youth battles Modern Coast. So those are the fixtures in the National Super League matches to be played on Sunday and Monday. Now let's move on to the Kenya Premier League champions. That is Gor Mahia. They will be in action tomorrow in the CAF Confederation Cup. Second leg tie away in Cameroon against New Stars. Now in the first leg, Gor Mahia got a 2-1 win, and their tactician, that is Hassan Oktay, says he's confident that Kogalo will sail through to the group stage.
Orange cone, hand, back middle.
Jack 2. One.
We did training this morning, and we're on form. We are very positive. We are looking forward. Cameroon games. West Africa, anything happen. And we had a meeting. I had a meeting with my players, and they know mentally, physically, we're strong enough. We haven't got any issues. No problem.
Of course, we'll be paying a close attention to Gor Mahia to see how they perform against New Stars from Cameroon. Let's go to some basketball now. The United States International University basketball women's team held its trials in Nairobi on Thursday in a bid to improve on last season's shortcomings. The team finished 8th in last season as players struggled to gel. The Thika-based side says the biggest challenge is juggling academics and the sport, especially because most of the competing teams are professional clubs.
I will come with all the energy that I got and the skills that I was taught before coming here, and I'll come as someone who wants to come and take more from here and build myself to be someone better in future.
Most of the team are third year, fourth year. We are graduating next year, so we are looking for students. So as we leave, we have a team that can play for the university.
The girls are pretty competitive. The ones are trying out, they're pretty competitive, and that competitiveness or the competitive nature is what we really want to try and build in them, because I know we can get the best out of them.
Let's move to some chess now. Africa's chess delegation arrived in the country to hold the first ever chess BICAD meeting that will be staged in Nairobi. The delegation led by Africa's chess president Louis Nkube from Zambia was applauded the growth of chess in the country.
Kenya is an example of a country where democracy is maturing really, really quickly. And Chess Kenya is also becoming one of the democratic chess federations that we can learn from. You recall that, you may want to know that in chess there's also a lot of politics, and we are struggling with some countries where there are a lot of undemocratic tendencies within the federations. But Kenya is one example where we really want to take advantage of and learn and impart that knowledge to other countries.
A good teacher does not always concentrate on the people who are top of the class. You also look at the others, give an opportunity across the board and say, okay, my program should cover the ones who are highly talented and more developed, but also to give an opportunity for those others to reach that same level. So that's how, as a teacher, you are able to do that in a classroom. And even us, as African Chess Confederation, that is our responsibility to ensure that we give programs that are able to develop at whatever level each not only the federations, the zones, but also as well as all around Africa.
Well, remember our focus this afternoon is on handball. What is ailing Kenyan handball? And in studio, of course, I'm with Anthony Madagashi Soccer and Adalbert Samuel. They are here. We'll be talking about what ails handball in the country. But we want to take a short commercial break. When we come back, the men here in studio are itching to talk, and they want to set the record straight about what is not being done right in handball in the country. That will be after the break.